There is a real-life aquawoman that dives with sharks, a girl with telekinetic powers like Wanda from Marvel, an Indian that climbs just like Spiderman, a man that can survive freezing cold temperatures just like Iceman, and a strange man that can communicate with bees just like an Ant-Man. Number 10. Slavisa Pajkic. Slavisa Pajkic, popularly known as the Batteryman, shocked the world with his unbelievable superpower of withstanding high voltage current without side effects or burns. Born in Serbia's Požarevac country, Pajkic set his first Guinness World Record in 1983 by taking 20,000 volts of electricity without any harmful effect. His fame shot to the sky, and then he set his second record in 2003 by boiling a cup of water by taking high voltage electricity in just over 1 minute and 37 seconds. This wow type of man is capable of powering light bulbs and cooking sausages with his bare hands. In fact, by sparking electricity from his scalp, he can even light fuel-soaked cotton wool. These days, he's getting ready to set another record by charging a 1,000,000-volt generator and shooting sparks out of his hands. Number 9. Asian Hulk. Martial artist Zhang Shizu is often referred to as the Asian Hulk because he has a rare condition known as congenital insensitivity to pain. So he's quite able to do some remarkable things without feeling any pain afterward. By remarkable things, I mean things we can't even imagine doing. This guy's capable of passing you a slice of durian after chopping the spiky outer shell of it with his hands. He can bust open the metal pipes with his shine and brutal kicks. I mean, just phenomenal. And it's not over yet, because under the sheer force and ferocity of his blows, he's able to bend the thick wrench. Push-ups on 2 fingers? Nah, it's easy, right? But doing push-ups while balancing the whole body on 3 beer bottles? I mean, much harder, my boy. And just by flexing the muscles, he can pop the cables into chunks. Doesn't it look like he's got a true Hulk territory? You can name anything, whether it's food, human body, or any tools, he will surely break any of these. Number 8. Christina Zenato. Who remembers the Aquaman scene where Arthur controlled the shark? Well, this entry is somewhat the same. Christina is a superwoman who has removed more than 300 hooks from the mouths of sharks so far, and the number's still going up. She showed us that having a bond with sharks is more impressive than we thought it would be. Embedded fishing hooks restrict the eating abilities of sharks and may cause internal damage to organs, poisoning, or infection, but this diva lady has been diving in the waters of Bahamas for 25 years now to remove such hooks. She inserts her hand straight into the mouths of sharks to pull out the hooks. Over the years, she claims she has never felt any fear or hesitation before reaching her hand deep within the multi-road serrated tooth mouths of sharks. I know it's hard to believe, but the clip is just before you. Number 7. Jyoti Raj. You know the peak time when the heroes realize that they have a bigger purpose in life? In the case of Jyoti Raj, that's exactly what happened. Before feeling a kind of jolt of inspiration, he was climbing up a large rock to end his life. He was suicidal. So the motive got changed when he thought that climbing wouldn't be how he took his life, but it would be how he lived his life. In India, he's known as India's own Spiderman, or Monkey King. You'll be amazed to know that he learned climbing by watching the monkeys. Jyoti doesn't wear any protective harness because he's confident and believes he will not fall, and therefore he doesn't need any. The only thing he prefers to have while scaling up the walls is his $200 specialist climbing shoes and a bag of chalk that helps him in gripping smooth surfaces. And that's it. Number 6. Real Life Wanda. You know the beautiful and one of the most powerful witches from Marvel, Wanda, but I humbly present to you the real-life Wanda, who possesses great powers of telekinesis. In the short clip, you can see that it appeared like one girl was arguing with 2 boys, just teenager stuff, but then suddenly one of the guys came closer to the girl to shove her. Something happened that no one's ever thought of in real life. The girl pushed him away with her telekinesis powers. She never knew she ever had that power, till those 2 boys provoked her by shouting at her. Even her friend was shocked to her core. Nobody knows her name or whereabouts, but her clip on social media made her famous. I mean, obviously. I never heard of this. What do you think? Was she real or not? Number 5. Norman Gary. Several bee experts called Gary the foremost expert of the bees, and rightly so, as this man amazed the audience by ushering almost 1,000 bees into his body without suffering a single sting. I mean, he knows some kind of magic, or does have some superpowers, because he can easily communicate with the swarms and get them to bend to his will. There's something to be amazed of, as once he directed a single bee to follow a precise path by making several 90-degree turns before moving the under collar of Agent Scully during the filming of an X-Files episode. What an achievement, man. He did all of it by knowing bee psychology, and in fact, a queen bee pheromone formula of his creation. Number 4. Master Eng Hai Ho. There's a saying that the pen is mightier than the sword, but when it comes to Master Eng Hai Ho, we become conscious that what if the fingers are mightier than both? Because he has spent his entire life training his entire body, mind, and breath just to concentrate into a single, awesomely powerful finger. To measure the strength of his finger, the humble coconut is its measurement unit. In fact, he holds a Guinness World Record for cracking 4 coconuts in just 12 seconds. You can give him your much harder green coconut to pierce it and to enjoy the refreshing drink. If you want to see him perform, you should visit Malaysia, because he performs there, and visitors exchange a coin to see how a man can feed his whole family with a single finger. At the age of 17, he's learned all that by jabbing his finger into palm trees for hours on end. Best to say that this finger has some mighty kind of powers, as it can even crack the bone of the human skull. Number 3. Nikolai Kryagliachenko, Magneto. In Russia, there's a regular kid named Nikolai. No one knew that there was something special about him, but suddenly everything changed when this 12-year-old boy was knocked out by a massive electric shock from a faulty wire that was dangling from the lamppost he'd been leaning on. Because the boy survived from that shock of the jolt of electricity that was about to kill him. But don't be sad after hearing about it, because later, that incident became almost as a relief to him, as it had given him some sort of superpowers, just like Michael Fassbender, X-Men Magneto, because metallic objects could stick on his skin as if he was him. After realizing that he had gained some superpowers, he changed his career goal from a policeman to a superhero. But for some scientists, it's just quite an interesting story, as there's nothing really like that for them. But he can hold a frying pan up with no other help but his chest, so that is some sort of magnetism or a sticky skin. What do you think?
Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and you'll get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it. It really works.
And now let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. This image was sent to us by a subscriber. Similarly, if you ever wish to know more about an image you come across, just send it to us. Who knows, we might even feature it in one of our videos. So don't be fooled by the editing of this picture. It's an edited one, but does have a real story behind it. This man, Wim Hof, a 57-year-old Dutchman better known by a majority of people as being a real-life Iceman, because he's incredibly adapted to the cold temperatures, and according to him, he possesses this power because of his unique technique of breathing and his phenomenal natural technique of swimming in the cold water. He has set his record in Finland by spending 2 hours in cold water. That's not all, because he even climbed Mount Everest only wearing his shorts. I mean, seriously, old man, isn't he one of those people with superpowers in real life? Or maybe the one who tests human abilities? Number 1. Tommy McHugh. 10 days after having a subarachnoid hemorrhage, an ex-con who had been in his fair share of scraps became a new man with a personality nobody recognized. Actually, when he was young, he spent his time in prison, but at the age of 51, he experienced a stroke, and he felt a sudden urge to write poetry, and even began to paint and draw obsessively for up to 19 hours a day. In fact, according to him, he'd never even been in an art gallery, except to maybe steal something, because he was never artistic before, and the stroke made his brain supercharge, which plays a vital role in abstract thought and creativity. According to McHugh, at a time, he would often paint 6 to 9 pictures, and when his canvas ran out of order, he would paint on the floor and the walls. Thanks for watching.